Hello, this is Lino Tadros, and in this video we'll talk about comments and reviews and how to use them for modules and for pages as well. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I wanted to show you, for instance, in here under blogs, I've added a couple of blog posts just as a test. And you will notice under the Lino blog here, my own blog engine, I have 2 blog posts in here. If I display this on a page right now, just open up any page in MVC, for instance, and it will go on the right side, find out the blog post, place it in here, and you will notice I allowed comments on these blog posts. So the logo here, the blue logo, will tell you that you will be able to comment on those, okay? Also, when I publish this page, I wanted to show you that currently I have no comments in the system whatsoever. So I'm going to go backwards here in a second, show you where the module for the comments is at. If you go to comments, all the way down under discussions, there will be the comments. If I click on that, you will notice that I have pretty much nothing in here, okay? No comments, nothing to moderate, nothing to approve, and nothing that has been published. You can click on the comment settings, and that will take you to administrator settings for the comments. And you will notice that there's a lot of things that I can set here. Enable paging, if you'd like to use spam protection, image, so that you don't get hammered with different bogus comments from a lot of different people. So you can actually enable that spam protection. Notice you can limit the amount of pages for comments. If you have 100, it will be split up between 2 different pages, for instance. Put the newest on the top, delete associated item comments, you can do that. Always use UTC, which would be a good idea as well. And we will come back later in here to see some more whenever we make some changes. So first of all, if I go ahead and run the page in front end, we'll say view, like that. And these are my 2 blog posts. Notice leave a comment. Even if you go to a specific one, let's say click on my second blog post, for instance, I would be able to come in here saying, way cool, for instance, okay? And remember, I am logged in on another tab in here in Chrome. That means it knows that Lino is the one that's actually entering this. And on my profile, I have my dog's picture actually as my profile picture. So even if I actually log out completely, you will still be able to comment. And that's a settings also in the administrator settings. You can say, do you require authentication? Or you can say everybody, even anonymous, can comment as well. I'm going to click on this submit and notice Lino Tadros in here, the one that is logged in. And it will have the date and it will have my comment in here as well. Great. But sometimes that's not what you want. You do not want to actually just have comments. You'd like to change this to be write a review and give me 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5 stars. For instance, how would I actually change the system from being comments to being reviews pretty much? Let's go ahead and take a look. I'm going to go back in here and notice now if I go to content and click on comments, you'll be able to see that there will be 1 comment coming in. There it is, it's published. It says way cool. I can hide it, I can delete it, I can edit it. I can actually send it to be a mark as a spam if you want. Notice the person that did it is not anonymous, is using the lino@foo.com. That's my username as administrator on the site. The IP address, because it's localhost, it will say : 1, or it will be a real IP address, for instance. And it will show you where that comment is coming from. That's from my second post blog in here. Make sense? So all of these things are available for me. I can always get back to the settings page. Notice it's still available in here on the side. It says settings, and I can change my settings as well on the comments. For this specific one, let's go ahead and change from comments to be reviews and see how it will work. So if I click on settings in here, and we will go back to the administrator settings, and now we're in comments module. I'm going to leave everything like this in here, but I'm going to go down to default settings right there. I'm going to allow this for allow comments. If you don't have this checked, there is really nothing that will take place. You'll have to have allow comments turned on globally to everything, otherwise it will not work. And the part that I'm interested in is enable user ratings as part of the comments. I'm going to enable this guy as well. We'll say save changes. Some people think that just by doing this part, it's enough. Actually, it is not going to work for blogs just by turning the user ratings as part of the comments. What you need to do is to go to commentable types in here. These are all the types that you can actually have reviews on: pages, news, blog posts, events, images, videos, documents, and list items. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click on the blog post, and you'll have to remember all allow comments have to be turned on. If it's not, you have to turn it on, otherwise it will not work. And then again, you have to enable user rating as part of the comments. It's not enough to set it only on the default settings. The blog post itself has to have that enable user ratings turned on for this to work. And we'll say save the changes. And now at this point, when I go back to my pages, notice it will change from comments to reviews. So now let's say we'll view this page, for instance, and notice it doesn't say comment anymore. It says write a review, just because we made that change. So I'm going to say, okay, let's go ahead and write a review for this guy. And notice the whole thing still will allow you to enter a comment, but think of it as a review this time. I'm going to give myself a 5-star rating, and we'll come in here, we'll say, this was easy, right? And we'll say submit in here as well. And we'll do thank you, your review has been submitted successfully. And we will go back in here, and I'm going to go to comments again. And you still have to go to comments to see all that stuff. And you'll notice there is 2 of them. There is one for comments that you cannot see anymore because we changed it to reviews. And this was easy with a 5-star in here. Still have my administrator user ID, the IP address, and it's also happening on my second blog post. So if you'd like to enable reviews with stars like this in news, in images, in videos, and all that stuff, you can by doing the 2 steps that I've done earlier. It's not enough to do it on the default settings. You have to go to the commentable types and turn it on again on each and every single one that you're interested in. There is another thing that you can actually do, which a lot of people like, to actually allow reviews and star system like this on pages, not just on content. So if I go to pages in here, let's go ahead and, for instance, to the home page that I have, that it is. And I would like people, for instance, to be able to rate my page. If they like it, you can put it on the template so they can actually affect every single page on the site. So this will be the reviews widget here on the right side. So if I drag this, put it all the way, let's say at the bottom of the page, there is nothing in it right now, but I'm going to go ahead and publish this page. And if I run the page right now, you will not see anything at the bottom. It will just, it's not enabled yet. And notice also that my list view for the blog shows the 5-star and 1 review, and I can go read it and so on. So let's go ahead and turn on reviews on pages. And the way we do that, let's go back once. And I am going to go back to the same place I was before, content, comments. And we're going to go ahead and click on settings one more time. Let's say settings right there. And this time for the commentable types, I'm going to go to the first one that says page node. Notice 2 things are missing in here. First of all, allow comments is not checked, and that's a big problem. It has to be enabled for this to work, and I'm going to enable the user star as well in here. You will notice on all of them that is require authentication, requires approval, enable email subscription, all of these available for every single type. If you leave it empty for requires authentication, even anonymous users will be able to rate the page or the content. If you turn it on, you have to be logged in. So there will be a button say sign in, and if you don't have a good username and password, you will not be able to review or star any of the content on the site. Requires approval, that's if you want moderator. That means you can comment, no problem, but it will not go public on the site. Nobody can see it until the administrator or somebody in the back end can go and click on approve under the comments module itself. Does that make sense? You can also enable email subscription so that when somebody actually comments on your article or your page, you get notification by email so you can go read it only when this happens. Make sense? Let's go ahead and say save the changes. And now I'm going to go back to pages. And now that I enabled this and I have my reviews completely just by dragging and dropping it on the home page, when I say view, you will be able to see on the page itself, I can actually write a review on this page. We'll say, this page is awesome. All right, and I'll give you 5-star on this page and we'll say submit, and we are done. Now when I go back, again, I can see the comments and I can see what type it is on. So there it is. This is a 5-star. This page is awesome. Same user, but this time it's on the home page right there. Make sense? So again, you can turn it on really easily. There is no code to write to enable it for news, for blogs, for videos, images, documents, or you can do it on pages and templates, and the templates will show up in all the pages that this is inheriting from. I hope this was useful to you, and we'll see you again soon in another video on Alino TV. Thank you.